under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Here, so we have Cindy on Zoom. No, Kevin is not going to be here, and maybe Joel will be here. Any conflicts of interest with tonight's agenda? Cindy, you can shake your head. Yep, no, okay, there we go.
Very good.
You should be able to unmute yourself if you know.
Speakers on?
Try now.
Speak.
No, you have permission.
Jane, what was it?
Well, I was just gonna say, just point of information, I volunteer over at the American Legion bingo. But I
Okay,
have nothing to do with the
right out.
finance, nor do I play.
We'll wait just, I'm sorry, just a second to see if we can get this going. Otherwise, we're gonna go with American Sign Language. Does anybody know it?
Okay, go ahead and try now. Unmute. No. Okay, try now.
Good.
There we go.
Thank you.
Problem solved.
There we go.
Oh,
Motion to adjourn.
yeah.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're all good. So consent agenda, treasurer's warrant, payroll, admin, and wastewater.
Second?
Any discussion? Okay, all in favor? Oh, we gotta do, that's you.
Roll call.
Cindy?
Yes.
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 Yes?
Yes, okay. All right. Approval of minutes.
Move to approve the minutes of Monday, November 17th. Seconded.
All right, any discussion, corrections? Cindy, anything on the minutes?
No, I think they look good.
Good, all right. Cindy
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
and yes. Okay. You didn't do any adjustments. Were there any adjustments?
Yes.
Yes, you should have a page in front of you. There's 2 adjustments I have on there. Both passes.
Oh, that one.
But I don't have it on there. Oh, there it is. That is.
Yes, I got it. Okay. So, just, any objections, just sticking at the end? Okay, so that would go. We'll go under new business. Let's, we'll do the first item, which is 1 to 2 members of the select board to serve on the committee. Rec planning is gonna go GH. And then to approve the rec committee recommendations will be the second item, I. Got it. All right. No quitclaim deeds, Board of Assessors, real estate abatements.
Move to approve. Property tax abatements and supplemental tax assessments as presented.
Second?
Okay, for the discussion, it's a rather lengthy list. This was all presented to the admin committee.
Yeah.
And we had answers. Any questions, if anybody has them?
I think it was pretty clear. The majority were just either errors that we collected or homeowners coming forward to say, whoops, wait a minute, things have changed, that sort of thing.
Yeah.
And it's all outlined in that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There was a couple that were deemed that there was not grounds for an abatement, so that's been taken into consideration as well. Okay.
Is that A and B all together?
No, we should just do A, so that would be for just the real estate abatements. All right, we have a motion on the table and seconded, all in favor? Oh, sorry. Cindy?
I approve.
Yes.
Yes?
And yes. Okay, so a motion for the real estate supplemental bills,
Move to approve is presented?
second. Okay, any discussion about these? Again, straightforward.
We always like the supplements.
Yes, this is extra money coming in. Not a lot, but, all right, all in favor, Cindy?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes?
And yes, okay. We could have done it once, but, okay, public hearing. We have open session. That's our first item of open session, and this is about the code of ethics. There's repeat copies of that. Yep. Okay. This has not changed since the last looked at it. We're advised it would be a good idea to go through and do a formal public hearing on it. I'll throw it open to the floor.
Think if the town lawyer's not on the Zoom is,
I meant to nudge him this morning and make sure that he was, because he said he would be here for it, but that was 2 weeks ago, or well, now almost a month ago. So I did not remember to double check with him. So apparently not. This, we are intending on passing a separate policy, which is related to this, but a separate policy on, that's more detailed on social media specifically. This is the more general code of conduct, ethics and code of conduct, but we'll likely take what other towns have done, or because other towns have spent considerable time and money on the social media policy. So we will look around for one and find one that fits for our community and adapt it as necessary. Any questions? Sean?
Sean, I have an issue with as you were well aware, incident that occurred at an admin meeting, admin committee meeting a couple months ago with Selectman Kevin Sargent. He was, according to the town lawyer, he was off duty. He wasn't, kind of like what Barry Hutchins was, and very Robert, and we all know how that went to the court. I felt like he was very unprofessional, even though he was, again, not under the gavel. Felt like there was a lot of things said that didn't need to be said, and he was very unprofessional. Now, I want to know if I don't sign this, what's going to happen? Because I really feel like I didn't get any sort of justice in that whole scheme. I should not have been treated the way he did, even though it was completely outside of time here. I just don't feel like that he was professional in his behavior toward me.
Okay, well, I'm gonna relay what John has said to us about policies adopted by the town is applicable to everybody in the town that is covered under this. So employees have their own policy, which is separate from this. But all the committee members, all the board members fall under this. There is no opting out. It's like any policy, like, for example, the conflict of interest policy. You can't say, I'm not going to be part of that. You have to be. Signing is merely a means of ensuring that the person, that we have made the person aware, whoever's coming onto a new thing, aware of the policy, and they have signed acknowledging that they have read the policy and that they understand it, and any questions they might have had have been answered at that time, not at the later.
How do I know if I ask a question like I did before about service dog thing, I'm not gonna get attacked again by him at another meeting? How could I be sure that my time, in my, here, my committee work isn't tainted by, hey, his wife has to be on another committee. Can I do my work fair and square without worrying about what Kevin has to say about my work? I mean, I just feel like there was a lot of stuff that went on there that makes me feel like that maybe I shouldn't be on that committee because there could be some influence there.
Well, in terms of, are you talking about conflicts of interest or?
Right.
On that issue, that's been discussed at length with our attorney, and there is no conflict of interest there at all under state statute or even a broad interpretation of it. So there is none.
I mean, I was reported, or I don't know if the town was reported to the Maine Human Rights Committee for me asking a question that I thought was a legitimate question. And I didn't feel like I did anything wrong, but Kevin made me feel like I did something wrong. Don't understand it. I didn't deserve that. I just came in and asked a legitimate question.
Yeah, and I know that you two have a different opinion about how that interaction went. Which, I mean, that's just the way human interactions go. He sees it differently than you, and you see it differently than him. But there was no complaint or anything filed against you.
Good.
And you would know if that had happened because they have to alert. But if just as a hypothetical, if somebody were to try to pursue that, we would try to mediate that first, and that's covered in here. The whole point of having the policy is to try to avoid these situations to begin with, but then also to de-escalate and try to prevent them from, as you said,
What I was gonna ask the town lawyer was about the question that I asked. Was it wrong for me to ask that? Because anywhere I looked on the ADA, and I'm covered there too with the depression, that I had every right to ask that question. He felt like I didn't, and that's why I want to ask the town lawyer.
I can, because he's not here, I can forward that question on to him because I honestly don't know the answer to that.
I know she don't have the right to answer, but I didn't feel like I didn't have the right to ask the question.
Right.
Because if somebody was allergic to the service dog, that's all. I have no issue with the dog. I had none whatsoever. I just wanted to know if anybody in the committee was allergic to it. So they knew, hey, there's a dog coming in here. He took it out of context and.
Yep. That's, and unfortunately, communication can sometimes go crosswise, and what we're trying to do is to establish the ground rules for people and to try to keep us all rowing in the same boat in the same direction. And that is the underlying principle about this, is that we, and that includes the select board, we're all here to make the town a better place to be in. That's what we're trying to do. And we're all nipping at each other at the backs. That's not gonna
I
happen.
mean, I want to continue to serve the town. I think I've done a good job. I think I've continued to contribute a good job, but I just want to make sure that this ain't gonna happen again, because it happened to me twice. Robert sued the town once. As long as everybody's treated under the same blanket of ethics, I'm happy with it.
Okay. Does anybody have, thank you, Sean. Does anybody have any specific points about anything in here? I know we're all familiar. Yeah.
No, no,
Okay.
no. For 6 pages.
I have some questions.
Yep.
And as you stated earlier, there's gonna be a separate social media communication policy as well as a staff conduct, code of conduct and ethics material. First question is, should this make reference to the select board orientation at all?
Oh,
Meaning, because
yes.
there's some detail, but it's not mentioned here,
I
which,
think what we need to do is change my suggestion would be the orientation checklist would be changed to include this.
oh, okay,
Because, yes, this needs to, when a new select board member is on board, they need to, yeah,
correct.
Yeah.
Okay,
Where are you, Don?
where am I?
Yeah, no, I just, because I
Oh,
thought I'd
I'm
read something
nowhere.
about
I'm
it.
nowhere.
That's all right, I just thought I'd read something about that.
But again, because the orientation manual has some basic information in there that might be helpful to you. So that could just be reflected in the minutes. The other thing is, on number 14, page 3. My question is there, some sort of coordination between the planning board and the, newly established or reinvented, ordinance committee? Because it says are independent of each other as it offers the best public decision-making process.
Mhm.
And so that issue came up in my mind. Those two committees, they're separate, they meet separate, there's some overlapping members. And at the same time, one doesn't make decisions, the other does.
correct.
So there is some sort of relationship, but they're not independent of each other.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Observation.
my interpretation of this when we were writing this is that this is, so each board will have its own chair, its own rules. And, maybe there would be overlap of the people. The mission is fairly similar, but one is gonna have their own discussions and they'll come to their own conclusions within their own committee and not be unduly swayed by discussions and the decisions made by the other committee. If you think we could strengthen that, because you picked a great example because those two they're kind of hand in glove because it's land use for
Mhm.
both of them, and that's not typically
Okay,
true for the other
Yeah.
ones. Does that make sense?
sure.
But, so just my question, if the admin committee is looking at abatements and they're recommending 4 abatements and this one and not that one, what if another committee who's closely aligned with that one says, well, no, we're not so sure about that. Is it in the same boat that what you're saying is the two are intertwined and there could be trouble there?
This would be the other one,
Right,
because it's only for that particular issue, it's only admin committee and the select board as a
Right.
whole. But to Jane's point, if the admin committee comes forward with recommendations and anybody else on this board decides to go a different direction,
it's your place to say.
it is your place to say,
Yeah.
and it is this board's place to make the final decision, not the admin committee. Conversely, the admin committee should be looking at things on their own without any preconceptions of what the select board might or might
Right,
not
right,
want.
yeah.
That makes sense?
I got a few more.
Yeah.
Page 4, the second bullet under general, is that a typo? Uphold,
Yeah, I saw that.
Oh, that was-
You-
That stupid thing.
that's stupid thing, yeah,
I fixed that like a dozen times.
okay.
I'm gonna blame Microsoft.
I'm almost done.
Okay.
Then page 6, the third paragraph down. Does that sentence make sense to people? That I need slapping?
Free page.
Matter shall be known to the member of the chair of the select. It just reads off.
Okay.
Common.
It shall be made known to the member and the chair.
Or by the chair, or.
By the chair.
Yeah, okay.
So, I did read it, but it didn't make sense.
Read the people.
Okay, so best way to correct that is matter shall be made.
By the chair.
By the chair.
Chair.
That make sense?
That one.
I think so.
Okay. Then my last one, and I wish Jonathan were here. What's the difference between closed session and executive session?
Ooh.
So I don't, I've
No.
attended a closed session.
That could be, because I had asked him for not specifically looking at this language.
Yeah.
but, this was the issue that came up in admin committee where we were dealing with a personnel issue.
Right.
We had a scheduled admin committee on the calendar and anybody could come be here, but that, any personnel issue, we were not, obviously, in public. So
So either,
Well,
what's the
that's
criteria for an executive session? And what's the criteria in use of a closed session?
I'll get clarification for him,
Okay.
but I'm going to go out on a limb and guess that executive sessions are purely select board. But a committee could have a closed session under some legal premise, like personnel.
Personnel.
I'll,
Okay.
I'll make sure that, and you know, either way, that should be made more clear.
Okay.
Okay, so that was,
So just quickly looking at Robert's rules, it defines them as, obviously check with Jonathan, but this is on the Robert's rules site here. Closed session or closed meeting, and executive session, yes, kind of hand in hand are technically the same, but they're not. A closed meeting is at which only members and invited guests may attend. The proceedings, though, are not necessarily quote unquote secret, like an executive session would be.
okay, yeah.
So that's right from Robert's rules right there.
Okay, I'll double check with Jonathan, and either way, we should make sure that whatever the,
Put in a definition
Yep.
or just, yeah. Okay.
okay,
I think that's clear, though. I was just looking at what Alcina was looking at and, an executive session, we're sort of sworn to not speak of it, outside that, the convening of that session, but as Alcina said, a closed meeting is a meeting at which only members and invited guests may attend, but not necessarily secret. So I think that's the differentiation. I don't think we often do a closed meeting, so that's why it's a little hard for us to explain it. We're not sworn, you would not be sworn to confidentiality.
got it. Okay,
Which is why town manager recruitment was executive session, because it would be confidentiality in, personally.
right, okay, I'll just run that by Jonathan and make sure that we're all clear on that and, work in some definitions into this. Anything else? Okay, so what I have, go over from the beginning. Make sure I've got all the notations. We answered questions that got a stupid typo on page 4 that just doesn't seem to ever want to go away. We have a correction on the last page where the matter shall be made known by the chair of the select board. Fix that. And then double check the definitions with Jonathan to make sure this is correct. And then work in one line definition of what the differentiation wherever it makes sense in this paragraph.
Yep. how do we deal with, Sean's, or have we tonight? Have we said, this is the code of ethics and it is the way it will be, or do we need to follow up something with him on his question, his concern, or are we saying, because we're not gonna vote tonight, right?
Yeah,
We need to push it ahead.
well, I've got to incorporate
Yes,
the changes, and then, as far as the public session part of it, we don't need to go through that. again.
Okay.
The public hearing part of it, we don't need to go through.
right.
Okay, well, is there any other thoughts and comments, corrections? Yes. Leslie?
Yeah, not on this. I was just gonna, this is a different topic.
Oh, okay,
When you're ready to go on.
Yep, you hang on.
I will hang on.
All right. Okay, that's it. I'll close the public hearing. Now we'll go into public session. And I think Leslie has a question.
Yeah, I just wanted to actually thank the crew doing the sidewalk clearing. I've been here, I've been living in town for several years, and the sidewalks are the best they've been in a long time. And I'm really grateful. So, because I walk the sidewalks all the time, and they really are the best I've seen them. So thank you very much. Please pass that on.
I will pass that. Thank you.
I don't know if you got a better machine or just a better doer, but
We
New
have.
machine last year,
Same
the
here.
same guy running
But,
it.
yeah.
It could be the storms, but let's go with.
yeah,
thank
we're
you.
just had good luck with the storm.
Yeah, they've been nice
They're the
and
right kind of storm.
fluffy for the most part.
My walk to work is uneventful so far.
That's good. Well, Sean and I both live in an area that doesn't have sidewalks, so we'll take your word for it.
Yeah, sometimes we get a little hair down there.
Okay, so,
The tools.
We got one more.
Anyone else?
there's the tools.
Yes.
Yes.
All the tools. My question is, and maybe it's, you can tell me it's irrelevant. Is there an update on the town website in progress?
That's gonna be my town manager's report, but I can skip to it. So
Thank you.
So the website is, per the developer, technically finished. They're just waiting on a logo to be submitted. And then once that happens, we're gonna test it as internally to make sure that items are easy to access, clickable, there should only be 2 clicks to get to an item, max. Whereas like now it's almost like 6 or 7, depending on what it is, right? So that's really the big thing is, waiting on the logo to be submitted and then the training on the back end for the staff on how to use the site. And then also having folks test the site to make sure that it is user friendly, or if there needs to be any tweaks or whatever like that.
The present site is just so clunky.
Oh, sure. Yeah,
Thank you.
try to fix it, or update things on it. We all struggle with that. And,
Yes.
Is it 20 years old or,
Mhm.
yeah,
yeah,
It's,
does it show?
I can say though,
Probably one of the biggest complainers of.
Trust me, I'm one of those as well.
I will say in its defense, when it was brand new, we really liked it, because it was way better than the Technicolor awfulness that came before. Yeah, because that was way older than 20 years.
Dropping the letter.
I have one more question.
Sure.
Maybe I could bring it up in the protection committee, I think the police stuff. I'm just curious because Chief Burns is not here. I know they recently, I think, passed a law without Mills' signature on not allowing local law enforcement to cooperate with ICE. I really would like to know, and I'll bring it up to the steps if I have to, where the town stands on it, because I know towns like Rockland have voted on this, whether or not they want to cooperate with ICE or not, but at the same time, it's questions that people like me and the public taxpayers want to know. If they're gonna follow state law, federal law, they're gonna put townspeople in danger. This is the type of stuff we probably should go through the protection committee and come to the full board, because really, there's a lot of questions here that federal law versus state law things. And people would like to, even though we don't have that issue, that doesn't mean that it wouldn't be an issue. So all it takes is one time for them to not report illegal alien with 20 priors in a traffic stop, and then he go and do something to somebody in town, and you guys gotta keep your hands.
So
We need to talk about that.
we have communicated with, because other people have asked the same question. And Cindy, you heard this too, so just correct me if I'm wrong, or Alcina, that currently, that this coming from Chief Burns, we are neither asked to or expected to be directly involved in any ICE action, just like we've never been in the past, and we've never been for Border Patrol, because Border Patrol has jurisdiction here too. We don't even usually get a heads up that something's gonna happen. But he said that occasionally there will be something that they have planned, and they have asked for local PD to basically do safety and security around maybe blocking off a road or redirecting traffic, just from a public safety. They're not actually involved in the action itself. And even that, he said, is pretty rare. So that's where we stand right now.
Not really yes or no type of thing. Just little bit.
Yeah, I mean,
I'm just not saying it's any issue, because it doesn't sound like it's ever really an issue, but.
yeah, it never has been.
It's always a chance.
Yeah. Do you have a comment?
Well, again, actually, in protection, we have discussed it. In that the role of our local PD is a law enforcement support for activity that's happening. And as Steve said, sometimes they know about it and other times they have no clue that it's happening. We have no control over the sheriff and their law enforcement practices, et cetera, et cetera. So again, I think as we talked, if residents have questions, feel free to ask of Chief Burns and or the chair. Because again, people need to know facts and information and make it accurate versus following what's posted on Facebook. So, hence the initiation of our communication social media policy.
Yeah.
That's why I asked.
Yeah.
Just some
So-
clarity.
Does that make sense, Tracy?
Yes.
Accurate?
Yes, exactly.
Good. And I was accurate too, so.
Yes.
Geez,
Too
we're
accurate.
going good.
I have one other.
Sure.
I just have a question, about, or a comment about the use of the Everbridge notification system.
Thank you.
And, I sent a note, this past week when it got down, in the single digits, asking whether it was appropriate to send out a notification that the warming center was available. I mean, we're paying money for the Everbridge system. We're trying to get people engaged with it. And I think this is a good use of it. I don't know whether we've even gotten our full funding yet. I don't believe we have. But I really think that, Alcina will know when she comes back in, but I think that it's really important that that warming center be utilized appropriately and people know about it. So I would like to suggest that maybe you need guidelines for what temperature it should be, or whether there are certain things that would trigger utilizing it. It's also not clear to me who is the person who initiates the use of it. Is it up to Chief Burns, or is it up to Alcina, or who's responsible for triggering the message that goes out? And it needs to be, really, it's the sort of the protection committee needs to make that decision. But I think it's really silly to have this rather expensive system if we're not going to start using it for various things to protect them.
Yep.
Yeah, I want to jump on that too. I want to expound on that too in a minute. Like I say, when she was talking about cold, like, I know like how severe weather will get you know, with thunderstorm warnings and stuff. But if we're doing the warming center, we're gonna get those warnings on Everbridge for a wind chill warning. But that would be a good idea to have that out there if it's gonna be 20 below, and then that goes through Everbridge and people know we're getting warming center. I don't know what like she said, what's the criteria for what warnings go out other than just severe storms or winds, even in high wind warnings, we probably don't even get on Everbridge. This can be used for things that people need to know about. We need to have a criteria, what weather events and things like that, especially when it's cold.
Well, the wind chill, even if it's not use of the warming center, but, this is ice fishing season. And people need to know, this is a risk if you're gonna go ice fishing. The wind chill right now is 20 below or whatever. And that might be something useful. I don't know.
We were just asking about what criteria, if any, they have on Everbridge for like, let's say, wind chill warnings and high wind warnings and other things, because we have, the warming center and we don't know, we don't see some of these alerts go out. And she was kind of asking about that particular thing. I just kind of would think it would be a good idea if we have warning centers and others that we have a criteria for what alerts come out for people, especially, wind chill warnings and high wind warning, things like that.
Yeah, so all of those are, as far as like wind chill warnings, those type of things, those are all done by National Weather Service. We have no authority to issue those, right? And there is criteria already in the warming cooling center guidelines as to when that triggers for us to send out an alert and when to open. Now, the community room is open whenever the office is open, so anybody can come in at any time. That's available. And people are welcome to, use it. It's just open. Regardless if it's open or not, or how to put it, if it's staffed or not, right? Because right now we don't have a volunteer base to actually have some folks to sit there and staff. So typically, even on Tuesdays, when the office is quote unquote closed, we're still here, the admin staff is still here. So the doors are still open, people can still utilize it. And typically, if I see someone come in, I'll go down, greet them, say if you need anything, which some call or whatever. Just let them know that they're not there by themselves. And so as far as the Everbridge things, with the wind chill warning and whatnot, that's all on the National Weather Service to put those out. We have no control and we can't. That's up to
You
them.
put out thunderstorm warnings though.
I don't.
You don't?
The National Weather Service takes care of that.
They-
Connected
No,
to Everbridge?
I have no control whatsoever on the weather part. That's complete, and that's technically, I'm not gonna say.
Because I've
illegal,
never
but I'm not
gotten,
allowed to.
I'm on Everbridge. I've
Yep.
never gotten a notification about a wind chill warning
We
or.
We haven't had any, that's
Or
why.
a wind.
Well, not this year, yeah.
Yeah, we haven't had any this year, and even last year, there was only a few instances that actually went out that I wanna say it was, there's only certain trigger ones that actually will appear through Everbridge, and those have to be quite
That
severe.
would be good for us to know if we can find that out.
Like
Yeah.
flood, like if there's a flood.
Yeah, so if there's gonna be flash flooding or that type of
Yeah.
thing. The other thing too is the benefit of signing up online versus having a paper sign in. So if you have to go inside, if you put in a paper sign up sheet, someone actually has to sit there and click every single weather alert, right? Now granted, we're not gonna click for every time a lightning strike because your phone would just, not that we get a lot of lightning strikes, but your phone would blow up every time there's a lightning strike that's been within the Dover-Foxcroft area, right? But if, there is going to be flood issues, if there is gonna be, an inland hurricane or just whatever that may be, those items are tagged, so that'll automatically, but the National Weather Service actually has to issue that in order for it to alert on your phone, alert through Everbridge. We are not allowed to push any type of weather event out on that.
You're not allowed to?
Will we pay for that?
Mhm.
Maybe we should get
Yeah,
some
they don't-
clarity on that, what they can do and push certain alerts on Everbridge, so we know. Hey,
Well,
are they
I
gonna
can
do
put
high
it in the
wind chill
alert.
warnings and things like that?
So I can put an alert out saying, like I can't issue an alert on behalf of the national or on the behalf of Dover Foxcroft saying, hey, we're gonna have wind chill warning or wind chill because the National Weather Service has not issued one. Right?
But if they're not gonna put that on Everbridge, even when they issue it to everybody else, what's the point of having this system if it's only for, like I said, I've only ever gotten severe thunderstorm warnings. If we have,
No,
to-
it should,
is it gonna be on there? Like if we do
Yeah.
get a wind chill warning?
it does not matter what, it hits Everbridge the same way it would hit your Weather Channel app, whether it hits your, I don't know what the other apps are. It's built in through NOAA, National Weather Service, and that's how that works. It's all integrated. We have no control what National Weather Service puts out, but Everbridge and them are all linked together. So you should be getting alerts that have.
If they made it.
Subscribe to the weather alerts.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Like you have to be subscribed to the weather alerts. And if you're only subscribed to say emergency alerts for the town, you're not gonna see those.
That's an individual
Correct.
preference.
That's the separate thing. I see.
That's clearer.
Yeah, that's clear, because
Yeah.
the weather alerts are different than the emergency for the town.
Correct.
That kind of
But
helps me.
my recollection when we were looking at the Everbridge system is that it had some robust capability of notifying the community about things that we think are safety issues in the community.
Mhm.
And it might not be just a weather alert, but it might be, there is, the temperatures are, reminder, temperatures are getting lower, check on your neighbor. That's not something that's gonna come from NOAA.
Right.
But we should be using the system in the most robust way we can, partly to get people used to it. And, not enough people are signed up, in my opinion, as you know. I know you've been trying, and it sounds like there was some improvement when it went out with the package. The tax thing was really a good way of getting it done. So we should keep doing that. But I think that people who sign up for it, if they get something on it, so know it's working. And if we have the opportunity to educate our community about caring about each other and checking on your neighbor or whatever it is, I don't mean every week, but I think if now and then there was something that used it, it would be really good.
I just think that in the early stages, it was, we don't want the little boy that cried wolf, because nobody will pay attention to it. Every
Yeah, I
time a
understand.
car alarm goes off at Hannaford, nobody really has a
Yeah.
look, because they don't. So it was to be something substantial or some major event coming that would make the Everbridge so that if you got a warning, it was something
About something.
substantial.
You're not just
Road
thinking it's another
closure.
notification.
The road
Yeah, yeah,
closures
road
will all
closures.
come through the town communication. When
Yeah.
that gets up and running, check your neighbor, the dump is closed today, the town.
Right.
Law enforcement, that worked pretty well.
And now we've also added the whole, another section where it's town notifications. You can sign up for office closures, or you can sign up for like, for instance, like put out the parking ban, a reminder
Mm.
for everybody for a
That's
parking
a good
ban
one.
for
That's a
the
good
other, last week. Now, if you're not signed up for that, you're not gonna see it. So it's always, you wanna go and check and make sure your subscription signed up for that, or, and that type of thing.
Or if you've
But,
added that recently, I don't have.
So
yeah, that was.
I signed up for that. But there's more than just signing up for it. You have to go sign up for other things inside that Everbridge.
Did you do it online or did you?
Yeah,
do it via
when it
paper?
first came out.
Okay, so yeah, it's, if you just sign up for weather alerts, you'll get your weather alerts. If you sign up for emergency alerts, you'll get your emergency alerts. Nothing's changed on that, but
I
we
don't
have,
think I have gotten anything since summer.
You got one thing sometime during the summer.
All right, so I didn't miss much.
No,
yeah, there hasn't. I mean, the last like emergency update was like, the
lockdown.
the shelter in
I got
place
that.
event.
I got
Yep, and that's, that was a major emergency alert, right?
Yeah.
But since that, we have added town notifications, so the parking ban went out. And yeah, you should, like, if every once in a while, if you don't wanna get weather alerts, you have the capability to go on and go ahead and turn those off, right? Or you have the ability to subscribe to more things, which are now you have town office notifications or town.
All right, I'll take a
notifications,
look.
Yeah.
Could I make a suggestion
Mhm.
that maybe you send out a notification to everybody on Everbridge saying we have updated the list of things you can sign up for. You might want to go in and check and see
Please
if you're
review
signed up for what you want.
Because I was going on that.
'Cause I had
same
no
assumption
idea.
that we weren't getting anything because now we automatically sign up for it, not thinking we gotta go in there and click on
Yeah.
sign ups that have been added after.
Right.
Yeah,
If you're
That makes a lot
changing
of
things
sense.
now, I would send, whenever you change anything on it, I would send something out to everybody saying, we've changed the list and
Yeah.
it's time to check it again.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay,
Well, again, I just went on our wonderful website. You call it Everbridge, they call it Resident Alert System. So, with our new website, hopefully consistency will be there. And it just walks you through if you want to update your community profile.
Right, but
So-
if people don't know this is
No,
updated.
yeah.
I'm just stating.
Yeah, no, I know.
It's
I
an
know
easy
how to do it.
process. I don't disagree with
Yeah.
putting information, but a lot of people don't get Facebook.
yeah, I mean, the big thing is with, when I sign up for things, I sign up and forget.
Forget.
Yep.
yeah.
So, I wouldn't know about the office hours and the parking ban thing
Correct.
being put in. So, yeah, it makes a lot of sense if we could bump a message out to everybody. All right. Excellent. Anything else for open session? Leslie, thank you for bringing that up. Okay, I'm gonna close open session to the public, and now we have open session for the board. Cindy, do you have anything?
I was
You
just
go.
going to raise my little pretend hand, but you knew I'd have something. So I just past weekend, was thinking about how much we have to celebrate in our little community. Between the ice arena and going to the Holiday on Ice show that included free skating and all of that, and the theater, wonderful films available at the theater. You know, we just are so fortunate to have the resources that we have in our little town. And I also am so appreciative of the people who have decorated and, you know, done all that work on behalf of the rest of us. So wanted to acknowledge that. And
Yeah.
I also wanted to thank Leslie for bringing up reminding people of this resource that we have and the choices that they can make. Because I think even though we can't say, like the weather service would say, wind chills are going to be 20 below, we can remind people that we have a room where they can come and be warm and, you know, charge their phones and all those things. So I like the follow-up that we've planned. So thank you.
Thank you, Cindy. Anybody else?
I will just
Jump right in.
reiterate, Cindy, the work that must have gone into the last Christmas week and fair and Santa, the parade is wonderful. And I will say from Central Hall looked absolutely spectacular where Santa was going to be for the kids and families to come in. I was not in attendance, but the whole setup upstairs there it was just hometown feel of families and Christmas and the holidays. And
Excellent. Thank you. All right. So I will close open session to the board. We've got the adjustments have already been done. Sorry about that. I always think of that as being one of the first things we do, and it's not. All right, committee reports. We have an ordinance review committee met on Wednesday. Anybody going to have a report on that? Just even a summary of what happened? Althea, you were not in attendance, or were you? I don't remember anything. Yeah,
Not meeting because of the weather. We're gonna,
Right.
Yeah.
right.
they had the storm with the rain come in.
But we have had one
Yeah, the
meeting
initial,
We have.
yeah.
again, and we elected chair, vice chair. We got booklets. We just started discussing items that were on Nan's. Here's what we need to do, big items, short-term housing,
Short-term
you
rental.
know, mobile home ages, that sort of thing, kind of broader types of information. Some of us are new to this, so we have lots of homework and reading to do. Others, again, as part of the committee, they're also part of the planning board. So, that information hopefully will be translated over to the planning board. And then, yes, we meet on Wednesday.
Okay, so that was just, so I can, what was the date on that? The
Well,
meeting actually
It
took
was the
place?
19th.
We
The
did
19th,
meet on the 19th. That was our
Okay.
first meeting.
Yeah.
And our next meeting is this Wednesday,
Got it.
the 17th, right?
Yes.
Of December. This is December.
Yes, it is. All right, excellent. Well, Jane, you wanna do protection committee on that?
And well, some items are on the agenda, for example, the code issues that Nan will be addressing. We also discussed the use of fire equipment and staff. And encourage people, if they have needs, to coordinate with the town manager and or the chief. Also, budget season is coming, so although didn't get into many details, but just kind of heads up that we need to be doing budget planning. And then also the second ambulance is in process to being acquired. That's about it. And we plan to meet next in January.
Right, and the admin committee. Cindy, you wanna give a synopsis?
Yeah, I would just say we worked on the endless code of ethics. Just a little bit, but mostly our most recent meeting, we focused on Alcina's 6-month assessment, and we'll be talking more about that in executive session later on.
Yep. Okey doke.
Oh, we did the
Alright.
abatement. We reviewed abatements.
Yeah, we did. All right. Excellent, thank you. Unfinished business now. Code enforcement update, Nan?
Today, but, the admin had asked about, 291 Shore Road South and what's going on there. The local plumbing inspector and one of the state plumbing inspectors is supposed to be going out to that residence tomorrow to determine whether or not the camper is hooked up to the septic system. If it is, which we don't think it is, but if it is, then that will solve that problem. And if it's not, that's a new challenge that we'll have to take on, up to and including condemning the place.
Right.
Which nobody really wants to do, but we'll have to see how that goes. With regard to 130 Grove, Alcina and I are going to go inside that this week, and see if there are things of what there is of value, and write a letter to the homeowner and say, here's your itemized list. Please remove your things, because the last list saying, or the last letter saying, please remove your personal items by December 1st, did nothing. No response, no entrance to the building as far as I can tell, with the tall grass and now the snow, nothing is moved. So I'm gonna have to go in. As I discussed it, or as we discussed, not gonna go in alone. Alcina's gonna go in with me so that there's two of us. No one can say, oh, I had something of value and it's now missing, because of the two of us. And yeah, if one of us steps through the floor,
Yeah,
the other
floor,
one can
that's
pull us
always-
up.
That's always on my mind.
Done it a few times. It's fun.
The other one can pull back, so that's kind of where I am on those projects.
But do you need to go with police protection as well, or is that, you don't feel that's?
I don't know that I need to have police protection, but I will let Seth know that we're going in, so that if there's any
Better.
question.
Yeah.
You know, if any neighbor says somebody's breaking in or calls her, the police will know that we are there.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
That makes sense. Yeah, my sense is that one, as opposed to the previous one, is not a safety concern on that front.
Right.
Structural, sure, but
Yes.
okay, although I think you should be going in without a mask on, just because one whiff of dust and you're probably gonna be,
I'll be dead.
yeah.
Well,
so-
like it's
Oh, yeah.
raining, well, we're having a thought.
Yeah.
And 95's probably
Yeah,
Preferably.
because of the rodents that,
Yeah,
yeah. I mean, fortunately, it's gonna be cold, so most of that stuff should be kept
Correct.
to a minimum, but
but still, we'll be stirring stuff up.
just the same. Exactly. It doesn't take much. Okay, good. All right. Well, thank you very much for that, Nan.
you're welcome.
Thanks, man.
Okay, so, Alcina, you want to explain the next one, which is the First National Wealth Management Corporate Authorization Resolution?
Yeah, so this is basically just, putting my name on the accounts so that we have an actual, well, I can sign for anything, and then also if we ever need, I'm just basically a secondary on the bank account, or not, well, for First National, I believe this is the one that holds the CDs and that. That I'd be a second point of contact. It has Jack's name still on it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's just basically the formality of removing his name and putting mine on it. So that if Emily has to call, there needs to be a second verification. There's a second verification.
And looking, they'll need to see a motion from the board on that.
That's correct,
Okay.
yes. It does state that on the paperwork.
All right, does someone want to make that motion?
Well, before that, maybe. Oh, unless we can't.
Make the motion and then we'll do that discussion.
Can I make a motion that we're following this path?
Second,
Okay.
Now,
Now you can go.
Do we have other bank accounts that you have that Jack's name still on, or
Yeah,
Mr.
well,
Kluge, or whatever we're supposed to?
yeah, so no, that they, as far as I know, this is the last one. The other
Right.
ones didn't need board approval. But this one, for whatever reason, I guess it's their formality of their bank,
Okay.
that this does need approval from,
Just so we make sure and do it all at once rather than
yeah.
another one in 3 weeks, or.
Yeah, this is the last remaining one, I believe, of that, so.
Excellent. Well, then we have a motion and a second. All in favor, Cindy?
Yes,
yes.
Yes,
yes,
And yes. Okay. All right, renew the blanket letter of approval for Chadbourne Rail Post number 29 for their bingo. I have a
move to
motion.
approve, move to approve.
second,
Okay, any discussion? If Seth is here, we would ask if there's any problems. There's never has been, so.
is this a renewed blanket because it's just the bingo, there's no alcohol, so it's.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No change in what it was before. And we call it blanket because back in ye olden days, we used to have to do it per event, which was just a pain in the butt for everybody.
All right, so you,
Okay, all in favor, Cindy?
Yes,
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 And yes, okay. The town clerk appointment.
Move to appoint Jessica Levenseller as deputy town clerk of town of Dover-Foxcroft with a term to expire June 30th, 2026.
second,
Second, any discussion? You want to add anything else in?
Nope, we are happy to say that we're fully staffed now out front, and we welcome Jessica onto the team, and she's been hit the ground running, and
can we hear more details about her background?
yeah, background. So she was a special education teacher for, was it 20 some odd years, I believe, I think it was. She wanted something different, a little different pace. So she went into another field, and now she basically wanted to switch gears back into something I think a little more fulfilling and people-esque. She's very much a people person. So very cheery, bubbly, great personality, which is, I think, a really good fit out there.
Excellent.
Sorry.
Oh, wait, she's already started. She
Oh.
started December 3rd.
so Alcina, was that,
Um,
Go ahead. Who wants to go?
Hang on, Cindy.
did she come from within or from outside? Thank you.
Yeah, outside. And go ahead, Cindy, sorry.
I missed the answer to Emery's question.
Outside hire.
outside
Yeah.
hire.
So was that advertised, the deputy clerk?
Yes, it was.
Okay, I missed that. And does she live in Dover-Foxcroft?
She does, yes.
Okay. It seemed like a surprise when I read that, so just, can't be aware of everything, I guess. Thank you.
All right.
One more.
Yes, go.
Was the term to expire next year? That's a formality, is it? She'll go through the same review and job review like everybody else should.
Yeah. That's one of those positions, correct me if I'm wrong, it's one of those positions the state requires us to have,
Okay.
so it's different than other positions.
Mhm.
Okay, we have first and a second. All in favor? Cindy?
Yes,
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
And yes. Okay, one of our favorites, application for pole location permit.
move to approve the pole location permit for Central Maine Power.
Second?
Okay, any discussion? All in favor? Cindy?
yes,
Yes.
Yes,
yes.
And yes. Okay, all right. I had moved, town manager, we relabeled them. I should be G for the rec member. H for recommendations, and I for town managers report. Get that in the
far
correct
too
order.
complicated.
G. I know, we're
Keep
running,
going.
we're running out of letters in the alphabet, so, okay.
Use your
It's
toes.
Z, we have an extra.
Okay, so we have the two things that Alcina asked us to add. So the first one is, trying to get one or two members of the select board to serve on the committee for rec planning assistance. Rurik. Rurik.
Not here.
Recreation, economy, rural communities. I remembered it this time. Work.
Rurik.
Yep, so we're looking for, we have a pretty good spread of a variety of backgrounds for the committee. And we are looking for one or two elected officials that would like to sign on them.
I'm not sure with my wife already on the, or about to be approved to be on it, whether I should or should not be on it as well. I wouldn't like all our,
Eggs and milk.
eggs in one basket. I don't know what the. Either that, or I could say,
Date
she's,
night.
if
Could be a
she's
date
gonna be
night.
here, can I call her and see if she'll take me out to dinner afterwards? I could put my hand up to be part of this. It's important, so yes.
Anybody else? Why don't we can go with Emery, but at our next meeting, we can see if the other two members that are not here have an interest in it.
1/question mark,
1/question mark.
right?
Yeah.
Yep,
So take the deal, that's fine.
okay, this should get board approval. So motion,
I move to approve the appointment of Emery. To the
Along with the, you
R-E-R-C.
guys are so fast.
okay, we've got a second. Any discussion?
Oh,
Don't
explanation.
give him a chance.
No, he can't opt out now. We've got a motion in a second.
Yeah.
No, I
All
was-
right,
just wanted to thank him before he reconsiders.
Too late now.
okay. Votes in favor? Cindy?
Yes,
Yes.
Trust I can't
Yeah,
vote.
you can abstain from that.
Yes.
And yes, okay.
Damn, he's gonna kill me.
No.
Yeah, no, oh, I saw that.
All right, and we'll, Julie, if you could just make a note to stick that back on the agenda next time. If Kevin or Joel are interested. Okay, next we are going to H, which is motion to approve the members of the rural committee recommended by the admin committee.
I move to approve as presented.
Second.
Okay, any discussion?
Could you just read through them again?
It's John Fisher, Carolyn Ziegler, Lindsay Sands, Tamara Cox, Ashley Robinson, Charles Schaefer, Alex Robinson, Carol Boothroyd, and now Emery.
So there's already a married couple, so I don't think it's an issue, obviously, or at
It's
least,
a recommendation.
say again?
Yeah, and it's as John Pottle pointed out to us, that boards that are basically steering committee type recommendation boards, there's a lower standard for,
Lower standard.
there's a lower standard. Oh, not for the people on it.
Because it's an advisory board.
I'll rephrase it. There's a higher standard for boards that have, actual, authority to decision.
Right.
Jeez.
Get yourself.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow,
Good though.
it was good. Okay. All right, all in favor?
Yes, yes.
Do I get to vote or no?
Nah,
No,
I'm staying with that too.
Yes.
Yes, and yes. Okay.
Anyone curious as when this might happen or what might start? Cause you just signed on for, you never know.
Yeah,
Well, I
right.
noted how often and when starting, but I'm not involved.
So I'll just quickly run through the process. It's super fast. There's gonna be probably 6 Zoom meetings with this planning team, and then they will be in attendance in town for about 2 days to walk with the committee and also meet with the public. Yes, there is it's committee involvement, but it's also very heavy on public involvement as well. So there's gonna be public meetings held, that type of thing. They're looking at, they haven't given us a date, but they've sent out to all the towns potential dates anywhere from ranging from April, which I said absolutely not, that's mud season. But there's other places around the country that April is absolutely wonderful. And so anywhere from April to basically next December. And also going into early 2027. So I tried to pick the good months, less buggy, able to walk around and see everything. So the best bang for a buck for folks to, come out here and experience it.
Sounds good. All right, on to your report.
Oh, yes. All right. Try to do this while I'm talking. So we were approved for $71,000 from the state of Maine from the Maine Office of, this is a mouthful, Maine Office of Community Affairs, known as MOCA. From the Community Resilience Partnership Community Action Grant, that's for year 24-25 grant. The grant was written to help develop and improve our community room, which acts as a warming cooling center, as well as the funds are to help our supporting warming cooling center sites such as Thompson Free Library and Congregational Church. I always want to go. So that's the update on that. Was able to sign the contract, so hopefully we will see funds in our bank and we can start purchasing stuff for the room. School signs, I was able to fix them in front of FA. I'm hoping they're flashing when they should be flashing now. I reprogrammed them and reset them this morning. So if anyone sees anything that doesn't seem right, please report it so I can go back out there and figure out what it might be. But it's been quite a struggle since the summer to get these things working. I had to replace motherboards and all sorts of stuff, and I think they're working now. The website calendar. This has been brought to our attention. Julie and I both have experienced it, and Jane brought it forth, so we're like, well, I'll stick it on the report. So if you go onto the current website, it looks like we haven't been doing anything for very many months, right?
Right.
But we have been meeting. For whatever reason, in the last update in the last couple of months with the website that we currently have, once the meeting happens, it deletes that item off the actual face of the calendar. I've gone in, tried to pick every sort of setting or like see if there's even a setting to turn that off. There is not a setting. I don't know how to fix it. No idea. But Jane found out for us, if you click the little button, there's a little wording that says see all items. Click under there, and then I think you click see all, you can actually see those meetings or the meetings that were scheduled. So they still exist. They're just not on the front facing calendar. So we have been doing stuff. It's just unfortunately getting off the main face of the calendar. And then as far as the website update that I gave, the developer obviously is just waiting on our logo. And then once they get that we get trained, we'll test it for the ease of use. I'll probably pick on a few community members to kind of even pen test it, see how that works for them. So if you're interested in wanting to see the ease of use of it, let me know. And then now for your local weather. I don't know if anybody's heard, but we're gonna be having a rain event at the end of the week. The chances of us losing most of our snowpack is very high. We'll be having southerly winds, temperatures are gonna be increasing. And as we know, hopefully it won't be anything like December of 23 / January of 24. To that extent, but just know that there will potentially be some flooding, snow melt, and then there's gonna be a quick freeze overnight on Friday, so be careful on Friday, as driving conditions are gonna be pretty hazardous in the morning. So I think that's pretty much everything that I have. Trying to
Does that-
quickly run through.
any of the weather event have the criteria that it looks like it might hit? Ever bridge, ever reach, ever national?
Not unless they,
Yeah.
if I see someone kayaking down, East Main Street or something like that. No, but for everything that I've been looking at, we're gonna lose our snowpack for the most part, and we'll have a pretty rapid melt. So there might be some kind of ponding water, that type of thing, but nothing to the extent of
The
that
rivers
there
are,
would be.
the river is still fairly low.
Yeah,
so
it's there's
There's room.
It's room.
no substantial quote unquote ice, hopefully, that we can see at least. So, but yeah, I just wanna let people, make them aware, having Public Works kind of check the drainage. Cause I went out and looked at a couple of drains just today to see how they were, and we have them try to work on clearing some snow so that it'll be able to take the water that's in it, so it won't be in the road.
All right. Okay.
In an effort to move the website into reality.
Yep.
What is holding up the logo issue, and or can we say, go with what you have and move on? Because I
Yes.
think every meeting we have asked about the website.
Yep, so the logo, we've come up with a couple of designs. I haven't necessarily, brought it to the promotion development committee.
I don't know that the three men on the promotion and committee looking at the colors of the logo could really say that's the one, because we're all scared that we might make the wrong decision.
You don't have to.
So
So I'll-
somebody needs to say yes to the.
So,
Okay, well, good.
just move forward.
So you're just saying for me to pick it?
Yeah.
Sure, great, good.
Get that in
Yeah,
there.
'cause Tammy and I have been working pretty closely with this and trying to capture basically the town in essence in this one. And it's a difficult thing to basically, you want to bring in history, you want to bring in, Four Seasons, all of those type of different aspects, but not make it so overwhelming that you're like, whoa, too much going on. So I think the concepts that we've come across, developed is representative of the town. I'm pretty comfortable with what we have come up with so far.
All right,
So,
I'm hearing go for it.
okay, yes.
Well, I'm
absolutely.
Yep, right,
So,
excellent.
Oh, wait, sit, go ahead.
well, although we're saying go with what you got, I think this is something that the public is, not that we should vote on it as a town or something, but it's an important representation of our community. And so I'm a little uncomfortable with, like, it would be nice to see it, get some feedback from people. The first I knew about the colors were when Kevin, was working on the newsletter idea, and I thought, how did those colors get chosen? So I just think I'm just one member of the public who's thinking, wait a minute, how did this happen? That we should ask for some input about it. And I don't know what's going on at promotion and development, but it feels like an important representation of our community.
One way to handle that is to put it out on the website. So we get the website going, see how it
Mhm.
looks in context, the new website. And,
Bring it to the
it
board.
is possible that we can change things. Just, yeah, just don't print 1,000 T-shirts and get all that stuff lined up, the swag bags and whatnot. But I think one of the first things we could do on the new website is with the new community engagement features is to say, here it is. What do you think of it?
I mean, really, we could do that beforehand, an explanation of the color code, because I mean, every color that was selected has a meaning behind it. And then obviously the representation of the image of itself, the logo incorporates those colors. And then the depiction, because there's a and I mean, that's the thing, there's a few concepts of that. They can get put on the website as itself and people can give feedback and take 2 weeks of feedback and say, hey, what are your thoughts, or put it up for like a week or whatever and say, here's the concept, looking for feedback, and go from there.
Mhm.
But the sooner the better to get it launched.
Jane?
My issue was, let's get the website up.
I agree. Because that is, there's two important issues as one's holding up the other.
Yeah.
So, yeah. All right. Excellent. Thank you for that. Now we're at, open session closing remarks.
Just a few small things. You can sign me up for that. And I'll test that out. You know, the website, you know me. I always get some ideas. And the functionality, Cindy just talked about the newsletter. I know we had talked about it. Is that and like the community calendar? Remember we talked about that. Alcina, those functions. Are they going to be part of something that can be added to that existing architecture?
Yeah, I mean, it's always something that can be added on later on. But at the moment, honestly, we've got like 4 community calendars right now going in town. And it's almost like it's a competing kind of thing. And literally someone would have to police our our website for submittals. Cause I'm not gonna put your yard sale on it. Like, if someone will throw in a request and your yard sale might not fit the criteria to hop onto the community calendar. This chamber has one, the Central Hall has one, trying to think.
Library.
There's the library has a commit calendar, so yeah, there are other options. It would be nice to have one consolidated, but everyone seems to be doing their own kind of calendar, community calendar, so. I think if we could keep ours more or less specifically focused on the town functions, it would be cleaner. And then maybe one day we can open it up for community events.
Yeah, I think the newsletter definitely is one of the better ideas because I know some other towns do that. Yeah, a good way to inform people, especially if they they have an email sign up, if they give an email version of it, or somebody from the public who may do up the newsletter, however it's done, just a kind of a review of what happened in the town in the week or 2 months, whatever
Things
it
to look
is.
forward to.
Yeah, that's a really good idea.
Yeah.
Last question I have is, comp committee, what's the status on people?
Not much has changed. Same two people. I have a third person, sorry. And honestly, at the moment, we do not have the budget for a comp review. There's just barely enough probably to get us through the ordinance committee review. Just because of the consulting fees at the moment and the cost per hour that it takes. So that's really a big limitation for moving forward right now for the comp review.
That probably should be fit in the budget.
Yeah.
So we have to do it.
Yeah.
All right.
I have one other,
Good here. Yeah. Yes, Leslie?
sorry, no, go ahead. I just had a quick thing that I forgot to mention, but, I had a fire hydrant out in front of my house that was frozen and taken offline. It's all wrapped up in plastic. And I just saw another one in town. I'm curious about the safety issue related to taking fire hydrants offline. Is there do I have to be worried I don't have a fire hydrant next to my house?
No, I mean, they can lay hose to the next, cup view. It doesn't have to necessarily be in your house or be at your house to work. That's more or less
It's at the corner of the library.
yeah, I mean, that's gonna be a water district question, because we have no control over hydrants and when they do take them offline. So I would probably contact the water district.
Okay.
To check as to the status on it.
Jane?
Just real quickly, I don't know if anyone noticed that we have a new, school board member from Dover and Sabat.
Yes,
Right. Yeah. 'Cause- From Sebastian.
Okay.
Are we up here yet?
All right, so we're all set. Thank you all for attending. Thank you. Gonna close open session for public and now we're cleaning.
Motion to move into executive session?
Hold on, I got plenty of time.
Oh,
Before are we gonna do select board, public comment in closing?
oh,
Seconded, so.
we already, you want to just jump in? We're doing that, so.
Yeah, I was just gonna say that with, having family and grandchildren here over Thanksgiving, we took the liberty of using the town's playgroup equipment, which was the first time I've been there since it was put in. And the age limit is like 1 to 3, and it was very nice and new, and it's really nice, and they had a good time. And then we did walk Dot Warren's nature walk, which was wonderful, and ended up out near Sedamocha, and because Sedamocha was closed, it was a holiday, we walked out around the back of Sedamocha to their playground, which is 5, 6 and older, and the kids had lots of wonderful time there. But even school was closed, but, what a wonderful spot. Something else we have here in town that a lot of people don't know about, that
Great.
well worthy of the time and money and the hours.
I usually see somebody whenever I come in here during the day, I either see somebody coming in or leaving.
Yeah, that's
So
fine.
pretty consistent. Okay, thank you. All right, thank you all.
Hey,
All right,
Good review.
we're now gonna go in and Tracy's made motion to go into executive session.
Second?
In a second, all in favor, Cindy?
Yes.
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 Yes, okay. We're in executive session. Remind myself of how to disconnect, so we're gonna send you home.
Okay. I wanna put. Hold on.
Rule amendment, but
Well, somebody.
Yeah.
April.
I sense. That's the bill when we went. It's okay.
Oh, yeah, I have no. Yeah.